Shalom to call Israeli team, Brazil, Israel, בארבעות כנפות של הארץ. כאן אסף בנמי קריספין אשר מדבר איתכם. אני ראיתי רוצה לברך כולכם עם שלום, עם בוקר טוב. עלינו לדבר על תורה, המצוות של יהוה. Shalom to all Israelites in Brazil, in four corners of the earth, and principally in Israel, our land. And I would like to talk with you at this moment about the Torah. We stopped in the item of Torah number 156, and now we're going to 157. The Torah is important for us Israelites because it's our life. It's like Moshe ordained to our fathers to listen to Yahweh's voice, the Torah that was given in Mount Sinai. Well, the item 157, on the 15th day of Abib, we must teach our children the story or the history of the Exodus from Egypt. Shemot, chapter 13, verse 8. And you shall inform your son in that day, saying, it is because of what Yahweh did for me when I came up from Mitzrayim. It's a simple commandment, but it's very important because it came from Yahweh's mouth, and all the words that came from Yahweh's mouth, we must listen to his voice. And because many of our fathers didn't come to the land because they didn't hear, they didn't listen Yahweh's voice, the Torah. And in the 15th of Abib, you shall inform your son in that day, saying, it is because of what Yahweh did for me when I came up from Mitzrayim. Well, let's see it in the oral law, this item, 157. 157. Shemot 13, 8. We read it, and Shemot 16, one. One to 4, Shemot 16, 1 to 4. And they set out from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their going out of the land of Mitzrayim. And all the congregation of the children of Israel grumbled against Moshe and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, if only we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Mitzrayim, when we sat by the pots of meat, and when we ate bread to satisfaction. For you have brought us out into this wilderness to put all this assembly to death with hunger. And Yahweh said to Moses, see, I am raining bread from the heavens for you, and the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day in order to try then whether they walk in my Torah or not. And you can see here that in the 15th day, we must remember the outlet of the Mitzrayim, of our fathers, of our forefathers. And our forefathers, some of them murmured, and some of them didn't keep Yahweh's commandments, didn't listen to Yahweh's voice, and they perished. And it serves like as example to us. We must carefully listen to Yahweh's voice and keep his commandment, because it's our life in these days. We are the last generation that Israelites that Yahweh has been calling in these days. If you listen to the voice of the Eternal One, we will return back to the land of Israel, the land that he promised to our fathers, to us heirs from them, because the words that came out from Yahweh's mouth, and they never fail. And it is very important that each of us look carefully for the words of the Torah. Well, we're going to see this item 157 in Yahshua's time. Masei Shlihim, Acts of Apostles, Masei Shlihim, Acts of Apostles, chapter 20, verse 6. Chapter 20, verse 6. Masei Shlihim, Acts of Apostles, chapter 20, verse 6. Masei Shlihim. And Masei Shlihim, verses 6, chapter 20. And we sailed away from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread, and came to them at Troas in 5 days, where we stayed 7 days. Then we can see here Shaul, the apostle, remembering the unleavened bread, because the Eternal One says to us in the Torah, on the 15th day of Abib, we must teach our children the history of the exodus from Egypt. And Shaul, that was taught by his fathers and by his master Gamaliel, and he kept this important commandment, important mitzvah. And we sailed away from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread, and came to them at Troas in 5 days, where we stayed 7 days. Then the days of unleavened bread, Shaul stopped in Philippi or in Troas, and they stayed there 7 days, and to remember the outlet from Mitzrayim. Now, let's go to the other item, item 158. We must eat unleavened bread from the 15th through the 21st of Abib. Exodus, Shemot 12, 15 to 8. Shemot 12, 15 to 18. We must eat unleavened bread from the 15th through the 21st of Abib. Shemot 12, 15 to 18, Exodus. "7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. Indeed, on the first day you cause leaven to cease from your house. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that being shall be cut off from Israel. And on the first day is a set apart gathering, and on the 7th day you have a set apart gathering. No work at all is done on them, only that which is eaten by every being, that alone is prepared by you. And you shall guard the festival of unleavened bread, for on this same day I broke your divisions out of the land of Mitzrayim, and you shall guard this day throughout your generations an everlasting law. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, in the evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month in the evening." This is the 7 days of unleavened bread. We can't eating leavened bread. We can't eat no other thing that contains hametz or leavened bread. And we have one meeting on the first day, and we have another meeting in the last day, 15th of Abib is one meeting in the morning or in the afternoon, and the 21st of Abib, another meeting. And I'm going to send the calendars of the Berit Olam, of the eternal covenant for your son. Well, let's see it in the oral law, this item 158. Shemot 16, Shemot 16. Shemot 16. Shemot 16, 1 Shemot 16, 1 to 12. Let's read from the the 6 to 12. And Moshe and Aaron said to all the children of Israel, at evening you shall know that Yahweh has brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. In the morning you shall see the stream of Yahweh, for he hears your grumbling against Yahweh. And what are we that you grumble against us? And Moshe said, in that Yahweh gives you meat to eat in the evening, in the morning bread to satisfaction for Yahweh. He hears your grumblings, which you make against him. And what are we? Your grumblings are not against us, but against Yahweh. And Moshe said to Aaron, say to all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yahweh, for he has heard your grumbling. And it came to be as Aaron spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel. And they looked toward the wilderness and see the stream of Yahweh appeared in the cloud. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, I have heard the grumblings of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, between the evenings you are to eat meat, and in the morning you are to be satisfied with bread. And you shall know that I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Shemot 12, 15. Shemot 12, 15, chapter 12, verse 15. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. Indeed, on the first day you cause leaven to cease from your homes. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that being shall be cut off from Israel. Then you can see that our meats or our meals must be pure, principally in the time of Pesach, because the Eternal One chose a people pure and zealous and good works. Now, let's see this item 158. We must eat unleavened bread from the 15th through the 21st of Abib. In the time of Yahushua. Yohanan, chapter 13, verse 1 to Yohanan, chapter 13. Yohanan, chapter 13, verse 1 to. And before the festival of the Passover, Yahushua, knowing that his hour had come, that he should move out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And the supper take place, the devil having already put it into the heart of Yehuda from Keriot, son of Shimeon, to deliver him up. We can see that Yahushua participated in the unleavened bread, in the 7 days of unleavened bread, because he was our Passover. He was our Pesach. Shalom to everybody. Yahweh bless you and your family. Shalom. Adi Hayom Ramishich Rabbah. Brachot to all Bnei Israel. Shalom, shalom.